the dark forests of Kosala, what happened that night was about to change everything. 999 fingers and only one more remained.
Stop, monk! Today your finger will become my 1000th finger. Today even death itself cannot save you from my hands.
And that monk did not stop, did not turn, did not tremble.
Angulimala, I have already stopped. When will you stop?
One single sentence and the killer's feet turned to stone. Think about it. A ferocious killer who had murdered 999 people was frozen like stone by the words of an unarmed monk. What did Buddha see that the rest of the world could not? Let us discover the complete story of this transformation. This was the kingdom of Kosala, once laughing and thriving, now shrunk under the shadow of death.
Whoever entered that jungle never came back.
Angulimala, whose name means the one who wears a garland of fingers, he had spread terror across the entire kingdom. Only one final victim remained. And it was then that Mahatma Buddha walked toward that very jungle.
Swami, death itself stands there.
Where death stands, I must go there.
Angulimala had seen thousands flee from him, but this monk had not run, had not feared.
You are still walking and you say you have stopped? What kind of joke is this?
Angulimala, I have renounced violence, therefore my mind is still. But your mind is running in hatred and bloodthirst. For whom are you committing these sins?
For my family! I do all of this for their sustenance and care.
Then go and ask your own family. Will they share in the punishment of these terrible sins with you?
Will there truly be no one beside me? Mother! I have come home!
Son, my duty was to raise you. But why should I bear the fruit of your sons? The actions are yours. So too will be the punishment.
Husband, no one can be another's companion in sin. In the fires of hell, you will burn alone.
Angulimala's heart shattered. He understood at last that the world for which he had been killing, in that world, he was completely and utterly alone.
Go, son. Even now, one path still remains for you.
Where will I run? From my own self?
Buddha stood exactly there, as if he always knew he would return.
Lord! I have no one! Please, take me into your shelter and refuge! What? What have I done?
One who has stopped is liberated. From this day, you are Ahimsak.
A name changed and a human being was born again. But how did Buddha arrive here? Come, let us walk into his own journey. But friends, do you know how Buddha himself stopped? He who advised others to stop? There was a time when he too was Prince Siddhartha, who had every comfort and luxury the world could offer.
This palace, I have everything here. Then why does my mind wander toward what lies beyond?
But one day, stepping outside the palace, he saw a sick man, an old man, and a dead man. These sights shook him to his core. He realized that the world is filled with suffering.
Until I discover the cause of all suffering, I shall not return.
Swami, please accept this. The mind cannot be conquered by destroying the body.
After years of penance, under a peepal tree in Gaya, Siddhartha completely stopped the running of his desires and his mind. And it was this very stillness that transformed Prince Siddhartha into Mahatma Buddha. That night, all of creation seemed to stand still, and from a prince, Buddha was born. But friends, have you ever wondered about the curly hair seen on the head of Lord Buddha in statues and paintings? It is said that those are not hair at all, but 108 snails. After leaving the royal palace, Siddhartha had shaved his head. One afternoon, when he was deep in meditation on the path to enlightenment, the heat of the sun grew very intense. Siddhartha's shaved head began to burn from the scorching heat. Love and devotion cannot be taught to anyone. They simply happen. When a tiny snail saw the great sage burning in the scorching sun, it offered itself there to give his head coolness and relief. Before long, 108 snails had completely covered his head. Those snails remain there even today, in every statue, in every painting, the eternal proof of that small, selfless act of love. This journey, from prince to monk and from monk to Buddha, teaches us that peace is not outside, it is within us. When a mind stops running, only then does true wisdom rise. Stop, just stop and watch. Wisdom walks toward you on its own. Please like and subscribe the channel.